Remembrance Day 2020, Ishida Castle, Goto-Island, Nagasaki, Japan. Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Today we are at Ishida Castle in Goto City, in the Goto Islands, Nagasaki Prefecture, Japan, to observe Remembrance Day for Japan. This castle was the last castle to be built in Japan. It was begun in 1849, and due to construction difficulties was not completed until 1863. It held a battery of coastal artillery when completed, and its usefulness was brief. And after the Meiji Restoration, it was abandoned in 1872. Since then, it has become a government office over there, and then over the years became changed to its current form. It now houses the Goto City Library, Nagasaki Prefectural Goto High School, Goto City Fukue Cultural Center over there, and the Goto Tourism History Museum. The museum has 3 floors of exhibits with a cultural movie theater on the first floor. There are exhibits about the ruling Goshima clan, artifacts of the Tokugawa period and Meiji Restoration, as well as Jomon exhibits on the second floor. On the third floor, there are cultural and festival displays, as well as displays about fishing and whale hunting. There is also a large display with a video about the hidden Christians of the Goto Islands. So, why are we here? Great Britain and Japan entered into an alliance from 1902 to 1923. It was entered through mutual interests and served Japan particularly well in their war with Russia in 1903, preventing the French from assisting the Russians, as that would mean war between Britain and France. As Japan gained more power in Asia, at this time particularly over Korea, America did not approve of the arrangement, and Australia didn't feel comfortable with it either. Canada would also not approve of it in 1919, following the First World War, due to Japanese expansion interests. The 553 Treaty, part of the Washington Treaty on Naval Limitations, allowed Japan parity with the great naval powers, Britain and America, as they had to spread their fleets over many oceans. The alliance was ended in 1923 due to conflicting alliance pressures and mutual distrust. In the First World War, however, the alliance was solid and enabled for the Allies to take the German port of Tsingtao, as well as defeat the German East Asia Squadron. Japanese naval ships also served in the Mediterranean Sea, and 77 Japanese sailors are buried in Malta. As the British Empire, including Canada, were allies with Japan in this war, which was part of the Manchuria War for Japan, this is the only appropriate location for this ceremony in the area. Last year marked 3 100th anniversaries. The first Remembrance Day was held in 1919. The Treaty of Versailles, which, while ending the First World War, was too punitive and helped to lead to the Second World War. And the 80th anniversary of the beginning of the Second World War in the first few days of September 1939. This year marks the 75th anniversary of VE Day, VJ Day, and the end of World War II. As for the Remembrance Day ceremonies, Remembrance Day was first observed in 1919 throughout the British Commonwealth. It was originally called Armistice Day to commemorate the Armistice Agreement that ended the First World War on Monday, November 11th, 1918 at 11 a.m. on the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month. From 1921 to 1930, Armistice Day was held on the Monday of the week in which November 11th fell. In 1931, this was changed so that the ceremony was only held on November 11th. This is also the year that the name changed to Remembrance Day. Every year, on November 11th, British, Canadians, Australians, and New Zealanders, among other Commonwealth countries, pause for a moment of silence to honor and remember the men and women who have served and continue to serve their countries during times of war, conflict, and peace. Other nations that are not Commonwealth members also observe Remembrance Day. These include France, Belgium, and Poland, and today, Japan. The United States used to commemorate Remembrance Day on November 11th, but that changed in 1951 to Veterans Day in May. The ceremony is usually observed through the marching groups forming up and moving to the local cenotaph. The veterans of the area would lead, then the local serving military, then police, then cadets. They are usually led by a bagpipe band and a color guard, carrying the flags of the country, province, and legion. They may even include the colors of the local reserve regiments. The ceremony includes a church service and a speech in memory of the fallen. The cenotaph is guarded by a few chosen soldiers who, while armed, have no ammunition. A moment of silence is observed for about a minute, then taps is played, either on a trumpet or a bagpipe. The ceremony is then concluded by the laying of wreaths by different groups and families in memory of the fallen. The parade is then marched back to the local Legion Hall for warm soup and coffee. Millions have served and died in battlefields all over the world in service to their countries, God, King, or Queen, and the Commonwealth, or Empire at the time. It is very important to remember their sacrifices and teach the younger generations about why they served. Today, it has become even more important as educational systems seem to be failing in teaching history, for veterans to pass on the stories of those who have gone before us. We must remember our heritage. The poppy is the symbol of Remembrance Day. Replica poppies are usually given for a voluntary donation by the British Legion, Royal Canadian Legion, or Australia and New Zealand Legions. The proceeds go to assist the surviving veterans of conflicts around the world. The red poppy is the only acceptable color for the poppy, as anything else politicizes the poppy. Remembrance Day is non-political, and the innovation of other colors for political statements is not welcome. The poppy, as a symbol of remembrance, goes back even further than World War I. At the time of the Napoleonic Wars, the graves of soldiers who were buried in Flanders were observed to have these red poppies growing over them. Red is the only color that these poppies grow in. We will now recite the poem written by Colonel John McCrae during the Second Battle of Ypres in 1915. The poppies blow, between the crosses row and row that mark our place, and in the sky the larks still bravely singing fly, scarce heard amid the guns below. We are the dead, short days ago, we live in Belgium, saw sunset glow, loving our love, and now we lie in Flanders fields. Take up our quarrel with the foe, to you from failing hands we throw, the torch be yours to hold it high. If ye break faith with us who die, we shall not sleep, though poppies grow in Flanders fields. We'll now have a toast to the fallen. Ladies and gentlemen, to the Queen, and the Father. Okay. Now the closing speech. They shall not grow old as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun, and in the morning, we shall remember them. That concludes today's ceremony.